What's your favorite bush meal? Or your favorite paddling snack? Or your favorite camping drink? What's the food item or drink item that when you're in the bush, part of the enjoyment of being there is that little twist of excitement you get about, oh, yeah, tomorrow morning I'm going to be able to eat X. Or tonight, man, I'm having, excuse me, tonight I'm having Y. Um, oh, yeah, I brought Z to drink. What's the thing that really excites you food wise about being in the woods? I was thinking about this earlier today, um, thinking about some things that I really miss about being able to hit the woods. Thinking also about just memories I have, outdoors memories. Some are of camping with my dad and my sister when I was young, car camping out in British Columbia. Some are of my grandma's old cabin or one of her old cabins because my grandma and grandpa, every time they finished bringing a cabin, like they'd buy a place, kind of a fixer upper, fix it up and then flip it. And one of the memories I have is sitting around a fire in the backyard with my uncle Joel, who I didn't really like for that long. And when he died, I consider it one of the best days of my life. But when I was very young, um, we would make bannock, wrap it around a stick, cook it that way, right? You make your bannock, you roll it into kind of a big sausage shape, and you just spiral it around a stick and hold the stick over the fire. And I still like bannock. It's such a simple thing to really like, but I do. I like jerky and not like plastic packaged jerky. I like real strips of meat that's been that's been hot smoked. Yeah, because cold smoked is for bacon and you still have to cook it. That's been smoked or dried. You know, I like hitting the woods and throwing a big steak on the fire, even more than a bunch of strips of bacon. I think there's something about cooking a slab of meat over fire that just fits. These are the things that I like. These are the things that kind of excite me. I like having a cold beer sitting in the stream for later too. I mean, I like scotch, but I've never really brought scotch to the woods with me because I refuse to drink scotch from plastic. I'm not going to transfer from. I mean, this is possibly a snobbish thing because my tastes in scotch are fairly expensive. I can't really afford to drink the scotch that I like. Um, I have several bottles that are $200 plus, and that's not me um, bragging. That's me kind of being like, "What? I don't. That's above my pay grade." But everyone's got something that they spend on stupidly, right? Um, and I don't. But I don't do that in plastic. Um, oh, let me just say hi to everyone. Uh, oh, we got a bunch of great guys on here. Come on. Hey, Fox, how's it going? Simo, of course. Avid. Hey, Ethan, man. Um, yeah, Avid Outdoorsy guys saying, "Hey, man, when was the last time you were in the garage?" Well, here's the thing. I had enough this past week. I was like, I can't walk in there. There's crap everywhere. Now, like I've got even, you know, the workbench is all clear. So now I just have to have the time to build something. So yeah, it's nice to be in here. It's cold in here, but it's nice to be in here. Um, I have a light set up and stuff. Hey, Pine Martin, how's it going? Uh, Martin says he loves Bannack. Terrible for me, but it's fun to. Yeah, the thing about Bannack is you can't really chow down on too much of it. Also, the recipe I have for Bannack now is one I got from. How many of you guys watch Bushcraft Barton's? Excuse me. If any of you guys are familiar with Bushcraft Barton's, he has a recipe that comes from a recipe book from like 1952 or something, and it calls for bacon fat. And you are really upping the not very good for you aspect of Bannack when you're, using bacon fat as the fat content. Um, hold on. Oh, I just lost my way. How about outdoorsy? Oh, Martin, are you? You're going for a quick overnighter tomorrow. Nice. Oh, I cannot wait to hit the woods. Even just for just like an afternoon, like a quick hike. If I can breathe in something that's green and good, it's gonna really change my headspace because my headspace is dark right now, guys. Fox is going swell, waiting to see if you get another rainstorm. There's another thing. Wait, I'll finish. What do you think? What do you drink your scotch out of when camping? Not a glass. A metal cup poured from a metal flask. That's the thing, Martin. I don't take scotch when I go camping. Many of the places I go to, I'll bring glass because I'm just going to pack it back out with me. And like, the danger is always breaking something, right? Because I am a pack in, pack out type of guy. But I don't know. I've never really brought scotch to the woods just because I don't know what I would put it in. Because maybe even like, would an enamel cup change the flavor? I don't know. I have this beautiful Cooksa over there somewhere in a box that I take when I go out to the woods, made by Soul of Siberia. Excuse me. Oh, guys, I'm so run down. Made by Soul of Siberia. It's beautiful, fits my hand perfectly, and sometimes I'll drink my beer from that or something. But I just, it's funny. My context for scotch is so different. Beer can take almost any vessel. I'd rather not drink beer out of like a plastic cup, but it's not going to ruin. It's a context thing. But scotch, I don't know. What do you use? Do you use a Nalgene for? Because we've had this conversation, Martin, and I don't remember what you said you use. Because you might be right. Plastic may affect the flavor much less than metal. I don't know. Fox. Okay, you watched a few Bushcraft Barton's videos, but not too many. He was a very early influence on me. Oh, actually, Martin. Yeah, you. Are you doing keto? Are you doing keto? I'm coming around to the idea that I think my biggest problem is carbs rather than fat or sugar. Well, right now it's fat and sugar as well. But generally speaking, I think that if I could cut out the things I love the most, I might drop a few pounds. Ethan says he's not looking like he'll be getting out until the second week of July. Oh, with your kids' schedule, planning a potential short trip with Dan Schultz. Okay. Yeah, the kids' schedule is an issue. The day camp that Camille was supposed to be in sort of the last half of June has canceled. I'm just hoping that the camp we had her in right after that doesn't cancel as well. Simon Forget speaks to what Martin said. He says stainless and plastic aren't ideal to drink anything out of. Although, like a red Solo cup doesn't affect the taste of anything, Hey, Mark's here. How's it going, Mark? Hike with Mike. Hi, man. Hold on. I'm an outdoorsy guy. Just discovered his new go-to beverage for backcountry trips: apple pie moonshine. You are not the first person to say that on this live stream. I don't remember who the other guy was, but you are not the first person to say that. I am afraid to try it, but maybe we will beer this thing up, shall we? Let me just catch up. Pie Martin says that many parks wouldn't even permit you to bring a glass bottle or glass cup to drink from. Yeah, that's true as well. And I don't blame them for that. I don't think it's unreasonable, because let's face it, a lot of people go to the woods and use it like a resource for partying and don't pick up after themselves. And like the last thing you want when you're out in the woods is to cut yourself, gash yourself on a piece of broken glass, or come upon a pile of just discarded cans. So I don't disagree with that. I just don't bring my scotch there necessarily, you know. Um, and I think it's too bad because some of the scotches I drink would, how the taste of wine changes depending on what you're smelling around you, and the taste of scotch can change as well depending on certain things as well. I think, man, if you're sitting there after a heavy rain and there's petrichor in the air and everything, I think a nice briny scotch goes very well with that. This is part of the reason I need to build myself a log cabin in the Boreal, so that I'll have some place to drink my scotch after a heavy rain. Oh, that's how you do it. Yeah, those little like the half bottle size rum bottles. Yeah. Hold on. Everything jumped again. Mark says you've used the small 5-ounce compressible plastic flask that used to, with no notable taste changes. Yeah, I think the thing. I think my opinion on this developed back when plastic bottles always imparted a taste. It's like, wow, I got an Nalgene bottle. Oh shoot. And maybe this is no longer true. It's hard to overcome philosophies that you develop earlier on, Okay, yeah, you've been doing keto for 3 years. I would love to lose a few pounds, so maybe I don't know. It's hard to change my diet when there are 3 other people living here. I keep thinking about how to do it, but hey, Dauber. Hey, Dauber. Grace, how's it going? Dauber's getting the kids to bed. So, Avid Outdoorsy guy says he doesn't think that a Gatorade bottle that's been properly washed out. I don't know. Maybe. I would have to drink a Gatorade first in order to get that bottle, though, and I'm not sure if I'm willing to do that. Just jumping around. Okay, I've caught up. But my question stands. Nalgene doesn't impart flavors, doesn't even take on flavors. I use one Nalgene bottle as a pee bottle. Sometimes drink from it after rinsing it well. They don't hold flavors or odors. Grace has been chewed up by the bugs. So I'm going to crack the beer. The beer. This is a local, as I try to do every time. Let me just pour it. Damn it, Serge, where are you when I'm pouring beer? I'm actually not destroying the head this time. Oh, maybe I am. Yeah, it started to go heady. This is a beer company called Ypon. And this beer is called Akinosation. So Ypon Akinosation, or Autumn Spirit, is the result of a collaboration between local artists and foragers at Jardin Sauvage Incorporated, pioneers in the harvest and culinary use of wild edibles in Quebec. This brown ale showcases complex aromas of maple sugar, soy sauce, and autumn. It will pair well with hamburgers, maple desserts, and soy-glazed grilled dishes. So, and the ingredients are malted barley, hops, candy cap mushrooms, and yeast. And when I read that description, that it's all mapley and foresty. Oh, and it would go great with a soy-based dish. I was like, I got to try that. Now, this sounds like it's a Japanese beer company, but it's not. Um, it's Avant-Garde Artisans Brasseur here in Montreal. But they sort of, their whole thing is like they've got this Japanese like look and feel kind of thing happening. I don't know how that came about, but anyway. I shall finish the pour, then I shall give you the tasting notes, as I do every week. What I would also like to say is, if you're watching this live stream time shifted to tomorrow, then thanks for hanging out with me after the fact. That's still, it really counts for me when you watch, especially like when it's too late to say things for me to react to. But anyways, here we go. Look at that. Oh, look at that color. Look at that. My American pint glass. That's very tasty. I can pick up a little bit of a soy, almost like a toasted sesame thing going. Well, it's kind of more of a coffee taste at this point. There's a touch of maple there, like a little bit of sweetness. That is unexpectedly delish. 473 mil, 5.6 alcohol. They call that a strong ale. I don't particularly consider ale strong until like 7%, but what else? Oh, that's good. But yeah, Grace, I've been eaten up by them buggers before too. It's not fun, and it looks like you're not alone. Oh, interesting. Okay, Grace, look what Ethan says. He had them bad after a trip a few years ago. Used a bucket of Epsom salt with super hot water and rested your legs, and it really seemed to help. That's good to know, man. Epsom salts are good for anything, aren't they? Dauber, we're back in the basement shop because I cleaned the damn basement shop finally, because it was piled high with crap everywhere. Like even the workbench is all cleaned off. I was just being driven crazy by not being able to come in here without seeing massive piles of crap. As it is, it's not completely organized. Like there's all my bushcraft stuff right next to the hot water tank. What I'd like to do is build a shelving unit for over there and another one for behind you guys, which is just really fun because I clean up the shop every few weeks or every couple of months or whatever, but I'm not good at really organizing, so I end up just spending all day cleaning every couple of months, because nothing has a real, all the stuff behind me here has its place. I take it off, use it, I put it back, but all that stuff over there I just sort of pack it so it's out of the way. Really. Ethan says he's also heard that a clear nail polish applied over the bites will trap them and kill them below the skin, and your body will naturally get rid of them after. Interesting. I had never heard of that. Never heard of that. But look, you guys are all being very active in the side chat, which is what I like to see. But somebody tell me, what is your absolute favorite bush food or camping food or hiking food or paddling drink, or when you sit at the campfire at the end of the day to relax, do you do scotch or do you do beer? I'm thinking Pine Martin, you're more of a Scotch guy. In the day-to-day life, so am I. But, I've already said that, like, for me, context is key. Ethan likes Reese's. The Reese's Pieces, that's your favorite? Yeah, okay. They're tasty. I'm a big fan of peanut butter and chocolate together. Um, for me, that format of candy, M&M's, Reese's Pieces, and so on. My favorite is Smarties. Maybe that's maybe that's patriotic thing or something. But I've always liked Smarties better than like M&M's. Reese's Pieces I like because I love peanut butter and chocolate together. I like chocolate and I like peanut butter. When you marry them, I'm so there for it. But now, Ethan, is that something that oh man, it's been a hard day. I've been chopping, I've been sawing, I've been building a fire, I've been pitching a tent, I've been paddling like 30 kilometers. Rip and eat, or is it something that you munch while you're doing stuff like someone would a trail mix? Pine Martin, Nescafe around the campfire, single malt in the late afternoon to early evening. Favorite meal is probably a good steak or bacon and eggs. Bacon and eggs, man. What I would like to find is an extremely smoky bacon. I realized when I was doing the video for the campfire, the cocktail, after I had to redo the fat wash of the bourbon, that it's hard to find a really smoky bacon if you're just buying at the supermarket. So I'm gonna make that like a goal, when we can all go outside again, to find a really good smoked bacon. For two reasons. A, to make the next fat wash a lot better. B, because I like me some smoky magic. But yeah, steak, bacon, and eggs, those are both very, very legit choices, and I love them both too. Fox at Outdoors likes to keep it simple. Hot dogs with sliced cheese. Not a beer drinker while camping. Okay. Now, I'm very adamant that alcohol and edged tools should not necessarily interface too often. So I don't like kick back with my beer until after I've done like the wood prep or the meal prep kind of thing. Once the bladed things are like laid down, that's when I'll crack my booze. But I don't want to be swinging an axe with an open can of beer on the log nearby. I'm not that like I'm a child of the 70s, but I'm not that crazy. Simo's all about the lentils. Austin's corner. Hey, Austin. Simple foods made with a bit of labor taste so much better, like grilled ham and cheese. Yep, that works too. Austin shows up with a bang, I see. Fox, it says favorite food. Ah, crap. Straight up hot dog, sliced cheese. Okay, yeah, we already. Okay, Avid. That's legit. So Ethan likes to sit back with a little packet of Reese's Pieces to reward himself for a long day's labor. Hey, Austin, really? You haven't seen me in the notifications? I am so sick of how YouTube is not working. Like, I tell people, subscribe and hit that little bell so you won't miss anything, and people are still missing stuff. I give up. I don't know how to make it work. And I don't think they do either. I think there might be a lack of competence or something in their algorithm. I'm tired of worrying about it, Anyways, so I'm sorry that you're not getting the notifications, Austin. This one, I only had time to set this live stream up about a half hour before I went on. After work and after supper and everything, I had a meeting at my daughter's school, a virtual meeting, Zoom meeting. So, you know, I only got to set this up a bit. Oh, excuse me. Come on, 32 minutes before 9. Hey, brother love, what's up? What I'm asking about tonight is, what's your absolute favorite camping food or paddling food, or the snack or drink that you know gives you gives you the fizz when you're in the woods or on the lake. Yeah, I'd like to go outside too, Mark. I'd like to go way, way outside. I'd like to hit the damn boreal forest. It's my favorite place on earth. Oh man, I'm liking this beer. I'm happy about it. But getting back to what Martin said, I don't think that Bannack is necessarily my favorite Bushmeal. Like I sort of said I like Bannack and I like steak. I like bacon, but there's something a little more magical about steak. But I I don't do a lot of really processed food. Like I don't do hot dogs. I'll do sausages, but not very often. I don't like American cheese, but I don't really want to bring cheese to the woods anyway because I don't know about refrigeration and stuff. Like if it's an overnighter, especially if it's a whatever a little hike or something, it kind of doesn't matter. But I still, I worry about refrigeration. Um, excuse me. Which is why also I'll bring eggs if we're car camping or going to like a national park campsite or something. But where I can have a big cooler, but I don't really want to bring them to the back country. Um, oh, Austin, yes, sir. Deer jerky always hits the spot. I agree. I love jerky. I shouldn't eat too much jerky, but I do love jerky. I am going to definitely possibly get a smoker this summer because I want to start making my own. I've made jerky before in a dehydrator that I have inside, but the missus cannot stand the smell. So a charcoal based smoker it will have to be. Martin says, I don't really do snacks anymore, but if I do feel peckish when camping, I'll have the equivalent of a spoonful of pemmican. I do love pemmican, actually. I would like to make it at some point. I haven't done it now, up until now, but I would like to make it. And if I do, I'm going to do it on video. Absolutely. Brother Love likes an eat more bar. Okay. A lot of guys like to have some candy. It's funny when I'm in the woods, man. I don't want candy. Yeah, I have chocolate for what Les Stroud talks about. Like if you're lost or something, and you just need just a little taste of sugar to bring your spirits up or something. But I very rarely kick back with a chocolate bar or chips or anything like that. I don't bring Coke. Well, I don't drink soft drinks except for root beer. Even then, I try to really keep it down. So I mean, I'm not going to be bringing cans of Coke into the woods anyway. But I so I'm kind of with you on that, brother love. I don't feel that I don't feel that candy is worth the trade-off because I'm not packing my backpack full of just any food, right? If I put a bag of whatever Smarties or M&Ms or something in there, then something else is not going to necessarily fit, and that might be pemmican or jerky or something, you know. Hold on a second. Oh, I just totally lost my spot. Hold on. Brother Love, you could not care less to bring alcohol along. Not a big drinker. That's legit. You save a lot of weight if you're not bringing booze. Wheelchair campers, I don't know. Are you chairbound, Austin? That must bring some real, so specific elements to your camping experience that I had never even thought about. Like, how do you set up a tent when you can't get down to to put the pegs in the ground? There's all kinds of stuff like that I never even thought about. Typical freaking age ableist thinking. Sorry about that, but it's true. I've never thought about that. Yeah, brother love, all the power to you. If you can find a berry patch, nice. Pemmican is season making. I do have a dehydrator. I do have a dehydrator. Maybe I'll look up a recipe and see if I can get it past the nose of the mister of the madame. Homemade spaghetti sauce. To part with it frozen when you could still eat cheese. You used to make a wicked fettuccine alfredo. Hell yeah, hard aged cheddars will last a week in summer heats. Fancy Bannacks too. Yeah, a hard aged cheddar will definitely. That's got some staying power. That's for sure. Really, but brother love, you go camping with someone who's chairbound. Interesting. Okay, so both of you, what kind of stuff do you have to think about when there's a wheelchair as a factor to camping? Um, does that mean you don't go canoeing, or is there like a special method you use? I'm interested. Uh, I'm very interested. Yikes! Chairbound with a chainsaw. Austin, I have some liquid smoke, and in fact, I was just thinking about it recently that I wonder if for my campfire cocktail, if I instead of smoking the glass and fat washing the bourbon, if I just threw like 3 dashes of liquid smoke in there, if that would capture the smokiness that I was looking for, or if it would just ruin it. I'm thinking of giving it a try. Now, granted, what I have is like it's a small bottle that use like Worcester sauce. Maybe you're talking about something different. Crap! I lost my place again. Dark chocolate chips are fun, but get soggy when warm. Yep. Since 2013, Austin. Interesting. Okay. So, were you an avid camper before, and that sort of changed things on you then? What Martin is saying, to make traditional pemmican, you only need 2 ingredients: beef and beef fat, or venison, moose, and game fat. I had always sort of seen there being a berry ingredient as well, or at least when I was looking into pemmican years ago, there was always like a service berry or what are Saskatoon berry or some whatever's your local sort of ground cover berry, I guess. Um, yeah, I'd really like to try it. I used to buy my pemmican at Mountain Equipment Co-op. I don't know if they still sell it, But that one had, I think, Saskatoon berry in it. It was made by um, I think it was made on a native reserve somewhere on the prairies. Um, yeah, I like pemmican. I love stuff like that. I love meat stuff where you can kind of taste the history behind it, like a dried meat or like a jerky or a pemmican, where you can tell that this came from a time, excuse me, before you could pack a cooler into the woods, or you had a fridge all summer long in your cabin, kind of thing. Um, Biggest issue is presenting pressure sores, so use a hammock and hammock tent. Okay. All right. Mark says just one drop of liquid smoke. Okay. And Austin says that is the stuff. Yeah. Brother Love. Oh, yeah. Okay. Because you're both riffing on the same chair bed. Site access is not a priority. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Okay. So you're doing the pegs for him and stuff. So I guess, Brother Love, that's more of a car camping situation than a real sort of backcountry trip. I'm having a very hard time keeping. Yeah, Austin Kent Martin is asking if you backpack or canoe camp or car camp. Okay, so you had a car accident, Austin. Okay. Interesting. Okay, Brother Love, you and your friend still canoe. You brace him while he chainsaws. He still cooks a mean steak, and we eat the same stuff as we used to. Nice. Nice. I love hearing stuff like that. That it's not like the end of everything. Because so for so many people, an injury like that sort of stops them dead in their tracks. And it sounds, Austin Kent, like he kind of stopped you, but then you got back up on, you got sort of back up on your horse, or I don't know what the saying I'm trying to find is here, but I'm glad to hear that because I don't, I think that if something big like that happened to me, it would stop me for a few years at least. Just knowing who I am, and I try to be the type of person that nothing stops, but every now and again something comes along and really puts me down. Martin says berries were not used by First Nations people in pemmican. That was a European innovation, but berries in pemmican won't preserve indefinitely. Right. You might be able to mitigate that by using like lingonberries or something, but oh no, I lost my place again. Okay, Austin. It's okay. I'll reply for you, Austin. Austin Kent says he does all kinds of camping, and he is from Alabama. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that, because if you did a lot of camping before you wreck, then the fact that you're doing camping again, that's good. That's really good news. Really? South River, Ontario, just west of Algonquin Park, used to have a liquid smoke plant. It smelled like wet, damp smoke ash. Nate's here. He's late, but hello, with good reason. All right, Mr. Nate, what's your reason? Like you have to be here on time anyway, but if you say with good reason, it's because you got something to tell us. Yeah, Brother Love, I hear you. Yeah. I was supposed to be next to the Rockies this summer. Sure as hell ain't it gonna happen. I love the interplay between Martin and Nate, because these guys know each other off screen. I would love to go canoeing with you guys one day. Nate, he is packing, or I think he's already packed. I think he's already packed. Yep, absolutely true. Already packed. Oh, Nate's packing as well. Oh, are you guys going out together tomorrow? Okay. Ethan says he keeps falling asleep in his chair. First of all, I got two things to say to you, mister. First of all, this is not that boring a live stream. Second of all, the same thing has happened to me every night this week. The first time, okay, I don't know how many of you guys saw my Friday video that actually went up Saturday, or was it Saturday night? Sunday? Late, because the battery in my microphone had died. First night, I sat down. I was like, oh, God, there's no audio. What am I going to do? So I turned it off and played a video game until it just went. The next day, because when I have a video that goes up Friday morning, I don't finish it Friday morning. I finish it beforehand and set it to go up Friday morning. So the next night, I was like, okay. I sort of complained to some of you guys on Signal saying, there's no fudging audio when I don't have time to reshoot. And I think Simo sort of laughingly said, haha, time to do a voiceover. So I did a voiceover, which, by the way, takes forever when you're trying to figure out what the hell you're talking about and there's no sound. And at the end of it, you sort of go kind of bare bones and cut like what most was probably going to be a 10-minute video down to like 4.5 minutes. But yeah, every night I'd be doing something and fall asleep at my desk. And like once I fall asleep at my desk, I know it's just time to go to bed. I'm not going to and get back to work. I know it's not going to happen. I could make a cup of tea, sit down, gook, 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 and still fall right back asleep. When I fall asleep at my desk, time to go to bed. Okay, hold on. So yes, Ethan, even though I'm mildly insulted, I completely understand. But Nate, are you guys heading out together? Well, you're not going together, separately. Okay. Okay, every 5 minutes, everybody say Ethan. What the hell is LLRD? Is that like LL Road? I don't know. Thanks, Mr. Nate Muskoka, for liking the voiceover. I did not enjoy doing it. Which is why at some points I was just like, I don't know, I might be saying something funny here. Who the hell knows? Solitude. I think that once this craziness ends, before the next wave hits us in like October, once this craziness ends, I'm going to send my wife away for a weekend by herself where she doesn't have to deal with anything. And then I'm going to do an overnighter by myself because I am, at the best of times, I'm someone who likes to be alone. Okay, I do like to be alone. After a certain amount of time, I get lonely, but I like, if I have a weekend to myself, I'm saying this as someone who is deeply, solidly sold on his family, okay? My entire universe is upstairs in this house right now. But I love to be alone. Alone in the forest? Hell yes. Alone here playing video games, it's okay. It's fine. I'm still happy because I'm alone. If I have the weekend to myself, I'll spend some time, on my computer playing games, watching YouTube's, catching up with you guys. I'll spend some times, having a scotch, and reading a book or a magazine. I'll spend some time, sharpening up the axes or something. But I'll spend most of my time, the overarching thing, not the overarching, but the foundation upon which all of that sits is a deep sense of contentment because I'm alone. It's like the head goes quiet. Not like being in the forest does. You know, if I'm sitting there in the forest, the head finally really does go quiet. But it goes a little quieter when I'm alone at home. So yeah, Nate, man, I understand that. I need some solitude. However, okay, Mark also understands that feeling, but Martin brings the reality. Brings the reality. Mark, Mark, I'm trapped in a house with 2 kids, 24/7. The missus when she's working from home. I have no solitude these days. Coming down here, talking to you guys is the first time I've been alone all day. Sometimes, like, I'll go to the bathroom and like read or something just to have some time to myself. And my wife's like, "Do you have like irritable bowel syndrome or something?" And I'm like, "Yeah, maybe." Just sitting in there, enjoying the solitude. Sorry, Ethan, but it's been, it's been a rough forever. Been a rough 2020 so far. Simon, he says he's trying to get his kids to sleep and then he'll come back. Yeah, Mark. I think we're all and that's an unfair statement because they're all suffering too. Camille is a very active girl. Under normal circumstances, she's doing hip hop on Fridays, karate twice a week. Oh, by the way, we had our karate belt exams last Friday or the Friday before, and we both got promoted. She's a green belt, I'm orange. Yay, team. Um, karate twice a week, ballet Saturday mornings, hip hop Friday evenings, and now the only thing she's got. Oh, and like heading to the park all the time, biking here, doing stuff. And the only thing she's got right now, like if we don't take a walk at lunchtime, is karate twice a week. We have, karate's been moved onto Zoom, but that's it. And so that poor girl is going crazy, and her mother's going crazy because we're all going crazy because we're all trapped in this house. And the baby, by the time she gets back to daycare, is going to be completely sauvage, because she's not. This is an important time for a child's development, in terms of getting socialized with other little children. So me sitting here like, oh man, I wish I was in the forest all by myself. It's so bitchy because I'm not the only one suffering, and you guys are all suffering too. I know it. All. I'm speaking for everyone here, but I have heard from some of you guys that you're going crazy. So I don't want to make it sound like I think I'm doing worse than everyone else. I'm not. I'm still working, for God's sakes, late into the night to make up for all the hours I lose during the day because of kids, but there's still money coming in the door. This mortgage is being paid, and this beer's good. And the reason why I wanted to talk about like your favorite bush food tonight is just because I spent some time while I was stressing over work today. You know how some people do breathing exercises? Some people do yoga to unwind. I just stop for a second and like close my eyes and remember what it's like to be in the boreal. You know that smell? Those of you who've been to the boreal, you know how it smells, right? There's nothing else like it. It's got a real like living primordial smell to it. It's got a. I may poeticize about it because of the fact that I like it so much. I spent a lot of time in BC, coastal kind of like the Sunshine Coast down into like Vancouver Island and Vancouver, the lower mainland. And that's a very different smell, but it's just as magical. It really is. Excuse me. But I'll just sit there and reminisce a little bit. Try to bring the smells back into my mind. And part of those smells have been like, sitting around a campfire and cooking bannock or steak or whatever. And I've always loved the smell. It's funny how there are certain foods that are pretty tasty, but if you do them over fire, forget about it. Forget about it. It's like the best thing on earth. I mean, whenever I cook over fire, I also make sure I do peppers because I read somewhere. I think when I was still working at Reader's Digest, this was in a book that I did, that the antioxidants in peppers can help counteract the inherent carcinogenic factors or elements in meat cooked over a fire because of the burning and stuff. And so I started making sure that whenever I did meat on a campfire or a barbecue, because we barbecue over charcoal, we don't have a gas grill, that I would always do peppers. And if I'm doing peppers, I'm going to cut up an onion and throw that in too, because come on, if I got garlic, even better. Getting hungry. But man, do that over a campfire. If you're lucky, you got a little hands full of rock salt, like a tiny handful of rock salt. Throw that in there. We don't shake pepper in this household, man. You crank your pepper into something. Man. Over a campfire? Hell yeah. Everything tastes great when it's done over a campfire. I think half the joy of s'mores is the fact that they interact with that the coals and the smell of a wood burning fire. So good. I mentioned Townsend's a lot, and I watch a lot of Townsend's, man. I watch all the time. I haven't watched any of the live streams because they're all really long and they happen at a really awkward time for me, but I would love to build that kitchen set that they have, the German kitchen set, with the fireplace, platform, like all this. I would love to be able to cook like that, even inside. Have that little oven, you got your fire in there, you scrape it out, you put your thing in to cook, or you like, I'm not a reenactor. I'm not. I don't have medieval outfits or authentic boots or any of that stuff, but I would love a really old-fashioned kitchen like that, or a summer kitchen with a fire burning range. Those big fire burning ovens. There's something very basic about cooking with fire. You lose track of when all you've ever cooked with is, electricity. A gas stove gets part of it, but not much. Not much. It's not the same as stoking a fire, bringing it down to coals, and then making something fabulous over it. No, hold on. I just got completely lost. Indiana's almost 100% back open and normal. Nice. So Nate brings the truth. Okay, what did Simo stumble upon? I can't click on the link, but I'll. Simo, drop that into Signal, will you? What does Mark say? You spent a third of your life on the Pacific Coast. Love it. Yes, it smells different. Yeah, Pacific Coast is very, very magical in many, many ways. Absolutely. I could never afford to move there at this point, though. Missed my opportunity. Ethan, that's how I'm getting it now. I spend a lot of time on Nate's Instagram feed. Wait a minute. Brother Love loves to roast whole marshmallows on the fire. A tick in the stem traps the water and it boils from the inside. Toast until wrinkled. A tick in the stem? What's a tick? What's a tick in the stem? Ethan says crossing the border to get away from all these riots would be super nice right now. Tear gas used and windows busted. Just 20 minutes from your house. Way too close for comfort. Downtown Montreal last night, they knocked out a bunch of windows too, but nothing like what you guys are getting down there. Brother Love, it's funny because I said on Facebook a couple of days ago, today on Facebook, I've said almost nothing because I figured that as a white, whatever they call straight guys these days, I figured that today, instead of talking a lot, I should just sit back and listen. So I've been on the pages of a lot of my Black friends and Native friends and stuff and just absorbing their world. 20 odd years ago, was it 1993 when the Rodney King riots were happening? This is just after high school for me. I was in Cégep, so it's around in 93. I was like espousing my views as a very liberal white guy. And a friend of mine, I don't even remember his name because we haven't spoken in like 15 years. He just told me, you know what? Step back a little, man. This isn't your fight. You don't know what it's like. And I spent all my time since then, he's like, this is our fight to win. I spent all this time since then assuming that was the right answer. And so saying nothing. And I don't want to get too political here. I'm going to say this and then we're going to move on. But you guys brought it up. And I think that just not saying anything is kind of a privilege that I can have because I don't have to live that life. And I have a whole passel of Black in-laws. I have a whole bunch of Haitian in-laws living in the United States. So maybe this sort of silence I've been living with since 93, like, oh, it's not my fight. Maybe that's the wrong thing to be doing. Maybe what's needed right now is for more white guys to say, by the way, that cop didn't represent me. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. And I don't know how to talk about that without making it sound like it's about me, because whenever I try to speak about it, I always say, like, I don't know how I interface, instead of just tell me what you want. Tell me everything you want. Just talk at me and I'll listen, because I'm self-centered, as we all are. And it's hard not to be as self-centered when you're as fabulous as I am. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that, because, Tyler's here. Tyler, what we're talking about is, well, we were suddenly talking about race relations, but I don't want to stay on that. What is your absolutely favorite food or drink that you have when you're in the woods or on the lake or hitting the hunting camp or whatever? It's funny because I said hunting camp, and there was a whole raft of meals I used to make at hunt camp that I would never make at home. We used to get these little canned, like mechanically peeled potatoes. I don't know if they're in brine or water or whatever. Beer. Nate, I'm right there with you. Oh, Tori, she's what's that, Tori goes outside? Is that who you're talking about? Whoops. Nate, brother love. I'm glad I clicked on that because you're absolutely right. Is that what her Instagram feed is? Tori goes outside. Is that who you're talking about? Just purely going on her Instagram feed because that's the only interface I've ever had with her. I think she would be interesting to sit down and talk to for an afternoon. If that's who you're talking about. But yeah, and it's funny because I don't want to say anything that I've said as someone with a bazillion Haitian in-laws in the United States. I want to say what I said as a decent human being. In very much the same way, Jesus Christ, I'm getting on this again, and I said I was going to get past it. One more statement, and then we're done. In very much the same way that I hate it when someone says, as a father, I think it's important to blah, blah, blah. Whenever like they're talking about some young girl got victimized or got kicked out of school, or I think that if you start a sentence with as a mother or as a father or as a parent, the only appropriate end to that statement is I try to be as good at it as I can. Because as a father, I don't think little girls should be raped. BS. As a decent thinking human being, I think little girls shouldn't be raped. As a father, I think little boys should have all the opportunity in the world. As a human being, I think that little kids should have all the opportunity in the world. Saying as a father, I don't think little girls should be beaten up or whatever. It's selfish, man, because it says that you didn't care about little girls before you had a little girl. It means you didn't care about little boys before you had a little boy. It's not a basic human decency thing at that point. It's I am a dad, so I suddenly understand the pain. And that's fine. It's fine. If you're a dad and you suddenly understand the pain, I get it. It's fine to feel that way, but I don't want to hear about it. All I care about is little girls shouldn't be raped or little boys shouldn't be strapped for being bad at school or whatever. I'm really taking what's been said and going into left field, but I don't think that having a black wife is why I care about what's going on right now. I think that as someone who lives in this world and desperately wants to believe in the best of my co-humans, that it makes sense to feel the way I do. Because people do very, very bad things to each other. But in order for me, as someone with massive, weird monsters running through his head every single day, I have to believe in the best. I have to believe the best in people. And as someone who believes the best in people, that colors what I say. And the reason I keep having to clarify that no, it's not because of the black wife and the multicultural children, though they both look as white as I do. I don't know why I have to defend what I'm saying. I don't know why people write it off. Oh, he's got a black wife. Fuck you. Demonetized. Sorry about that. Everyone should be pissed off about what's going on right now. Okay, looting's bad. Burning police cars is also bad, but maybe more understandable. Killing people is worse. Okay, this is getting really boring. But It's just the thing is, I've been thinking about this for days and days and days, and it's been like I've a lump in my throat, kind of a little queasy, looking at my wife and looking at my kids and feeling this overwhelming sense of sadness every single day. Every single day. But that's not what you guys are here to talk about. I'm going to share the link for anyone who wants to come back on and talk about what this was originally supposed to be about. Which is your favorite forest food or drink? Because it is now 22:05. So in order to be within the motif of my weekly podcast, it's time to open it up to whoever the hell wants to come on and talk. Hey, Mallory's here. How's it going? God, I hope you missed my silly rant just now. I'm glad Mallory's here. I'm glad Nate's here. I'm glad you guys are all here. This is such a good group we have every week. Martin always brings so much too. Ethan, man, I want to meet you guys in person one day. Like one day soon. I don't bring much to the table because I don't know much about the Crown land around Quebec or anything, but man. Hey, Rob. It's funny because I was talking to Robin earlier about what I wanted to do tonight. I received some RAM from my video editing computer yesterday, but I didn't have time to install it. So I thought, like 2 years ago, I think, I had sort of offhandedly asked in a video or a post, would anyone like to see here's my video shooting and editing equipment video? And a lot of people said yes. So I thought this would be okay. I'll do it as a live stream. I'll install the RAM. Hope to hell everything works. Describe the computer I use. Describe the cameras I use. But I had forgotten that I had this school meeting earlier tonight, so I didn't have time to set that up. So that's not what we're talking about tonight, Rob. I want to get Rob back on camera too. He's, as you guys know, he helped me build this workbench, this beautiful workbench. We do the woodworkings together. Yeah, I really want to see some people at some point soon. I am so behind. But someone wants to come on. Sweet. I am so behind. Someone wants to come on. Sweet.
Oh, I have got the audio. There we go.
Okay, was that you? I was wondering.
Yeah, that was me. My bad. I forgot I had it up still.
Ethan?
Yeah.
How's it going?
I'm awake now.
Good. So you're all about the Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, man. Those things are awesome. I actually didn't start doing that until this last year. What was the first trip I brought them on? I don't remember. I might have been. I don't know. It might have been my Woodland Caribou trip. I think I brought them, but yeah, they're.
Oh, you've done Woodland Caribou as well. I've forgotten about that. You've done like all the cool places.
Not all of them, but a lot of them. There's more on the list.
Yeah, what's left on your list?
Next year, I'm hoping. Well, actually, this year, hopefully, if the border opens, hopefully, a big trip to Quetico with Joe.
Oh, okay.
And then next year, I'm hoping up to 2 weeks, possibly in Wabakini.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, Wabakini, or I don't know, somewhere. I got cleared from the kid's mom to do up to 2 weeks.
Up to 2 weeks?
Once they're in school, so I think maybe somewhere like Wabakini or something like that will be more practical for it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I could pull off 2 weeks. It's tough for me because I spend so much time away. Like in the summer, I go to Alberta for like well, it used to be like 4 days, um, but now it's more like a week and a half because there's a music festival that I do there every summer practically,
Nice.
and it's sort of expanded as we become more known in Alberta. That now there's like last year we did the music festival, but in the ride up to that, there was like a music in the park at a band shell um, at this small Alberta town called Lacombe. And so we were one of the bands there. And then we did this epic house party, like house concert, like right before the festival on an acreage somewhere between Abraham Lake, where the festival is, and Lacombe. And so that sort of expanded. And I only have like 3 weeks of vacation a year. So once
Yeah.
I've taken that time, the missus is like, family time,
Hmm.
family time. And so I'm like, okay. So I don't see myself getting the week away unless like I don't do the festival gig one summer. And I'm not doing the festival gig this summer, but we're not going anywhere. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Understandable.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen this year. I was just talking to Dan Schultz. I think it was yesterday on the phone or something, and
Hmm.
we don't know. The way Trudeau's talking, I don't know if the border's going to open at all for a long time. So we're not planning anything over
No.
the border, and I guess I'm just kind of riding it out. I know the closure's extended till June 21st,
Yep.
and I guess we'll see what happens after that. If it gets extended another 30 days or longer, then I'm pretty much done planning anything over the border for this year. So I'm going to start focusing on boundary waters and other stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Oh, good night, Martin, if you're not already gone.
Hey, Martin.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Oh, he's such
He
a good
really,
dude.
he really made me laugh earlier with the whole spoonful of pemmican thing.
Yeah.
I was cracking up when I saw it. Like, you are such a cool guy. That is
Yeah.
something so funny to say.
Yeah. I was supposed to be doing a 4 day canoe trip with him the first weekend of May, and so
Yeah,
we talked a lot in the run up to that before everything ended, but got some real insights into like how he eats and how he spends his time in the outdoors, and
cool.
I am so regretful that that trip did not happen.
Yeah,
You know, and
it's a bummer.
yeah.
I'm still bummed about my ice out trip.
Oh yeah, of course,
Yeah,
absolutely.
sucks.
Yeah. Robin is trying the Oshlag IPA, mildest IPA ever, barely worth the moniker. I'm not a big fan of IPA myself, so you know.
Too bitter.
Yeah. Oh, Nate says he likes your beard trim, by the way.
You like that, Nate?
Looking very stylish there.
Yeah, I cut off quite a bit. It
Yeah.
goes back really fast. So since I was in the service and I shaved every day for a few years, it just so full all the time.
Yeah. Um, the my brother was at one point a commando. Now he's a helicopter pilot. But when he was in Afghanistan the second or third time, I don't remember what, he sent us a picture of himself on the back of I don't know, a grizzly or something. I don't remember what he was on. Big freaking beard.
Mm.
I was like, what the? He's like, well, we grow beards here because that's what they respect. So
Hmm.
apparently his entire unit was all bearded up.
Yeah, all the special forces guys have
Yeah.
that beards.
And
Yeah,
it was just interesting because I'd never even, the regs for the Navy are different than everyone else up here. Like you can have a very neat beard in the Navy, but pretty much everywhere else, you're not supposed to have a whole lot of facial hair, especially
yeah,
anything where there's a gas mask involved, right?
yeah,
So it was really weird to see this. What?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, before I forget, you said something earlier. People were talking about how we should all meet up. I'm pretty sure there's like a YouTuber meetup thing in the works for outdoors channels. You have to talk to Dennis about it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's obviously probably planned way out because we don't know when that's going to be able to happen. But it was talked about, I think, a few weeks ago in one of the live streams. Somebody mentioned it, and I don't even know who was on. I think I was on it, maybe. I don't know.
Now that sounds interesting.
I know it was discussed, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm in." And then a whole bunch of people were like, "Yeah, I'm in too." I think Alexis Outdoors, and
Sort of around Toronto, or sort of more Northern Ontario?
I don't think a location is ever really decided, but probably somewhere Southern Ontario-ish or Algonquin area. I don't know.
If it's within like 5 or 6 hours of where I live, I would so be there. I so need to see some of these people in person, you know? It was more like a 12-hour drive away, losing a day, than losing a day on the way back. And then, but yeah,
Right.
you know, that would be nice though. I would love that.
When I went up to Joe's place this last winter, he was like talking about putting together some YouTuber meetup thing with like a bunch of the bigger channels.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, he named off all these big channels. Like, yeah, we're all going to do a meetup thing and you're welcome to come too. I'm like, why? I am not anywhere close to that realm of people.
Yeah, he's playing in a different ballpark than I am. That's for sure. Like
Yeah.
with Dennis, I can still sort of sneak in the door,
Mhm.
you know. But yeah.
So but it just never happened. I don't know why.
Well, the thing is, it's easy to say let's do this, and it's a whole lot harder for someone to say, okay, I'm going to organize this.
Yeah.
That's the person you need, you know.
We're all adults. We all have schedules. We all have things going on.
Yeah.
It is so hard. Like just getting a group of your friends together to do like a small trip is the biggest pain in the ass. It's almost not even worth it. It's horrible. Like until you're actually there on the trip, it's stress. Like it's stress leading all the way there to the trip. Yeah. Every aspect, planning, everything. It's just, it's a nightmare. You can never get anybody to agree on anything, and nobody does what they need to do. Somebody forgets stuff. Like everybody's last minute all the time. Like, it drives me crazy.
And wild card for me is that I recycled my car, so we're a 1-car family right now. So if I, take off for the weekend in essentially my wife's wheels, well, she's stuck here. At which, we live in a major urban city, but her mother lives in Oka, which is a 45-minute drive that way.
Mm-hmm.
Her cousins and uncles and stuff live in like New York or Miami. Okay, she's not driving to Miami, but if I'm away for the weekend, maybe she'd be like, we're going to see Uncle Eric or something. But she can't do anything, and her other sister lives in Laval, which is the next island over from Montreal. She can't go.
Shouldn't have got rid of that car.
Well, here's the deal. That car was a 98 Camry, which was running great.
Those things run forever.
Yeah. The engines run forever, but it had a rust problem. And I was about to come onto a highway, and the entire muffler and exhaust pipe, boom. So I had to pull over.
You don't need those.
Jog over, throw it in the back seat, slam. Like loud, eh? Yeah. When it goes from the manifold all the way back. Oh, God, it was so embarrassing. And I'd already replaced that, and I'd replaced other things. And a dump truck had taken the driver's side mirror off, so I eBayed a mirror and put it on. You have to take the entire door apart to put a mirror back on those, by the way. And the windshield, the liquid,
the washer,
something was up there because it wasn't working anymore. And it's just and there was an electrical issue, so like none of the lights on the dash or anything came on anymore.
Sheesh.
So it's like, hey, you know what? Some of this stuff is dangerous. I drove to Sherbrooke, Quebec in that car with then the only daughter in the back seat on a very slushy, very rainy, very muddy night. And like the wipers are going, and I'm hanging out with a spritzer bottle of the windshield stuff. Squeak, 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 squeak. Whenever I could, pulling over. I it's just dying inside, swearing and swearing. At one point, I was coming up to like a T intersection, and I started coming across, and there was this Jeep just booted it, and he wasn't stopping, so I gunned it, and of course slid, went side first into a big pile of snow.
Ooh.
I was just like, funk, 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 funk. I wasn't really funk, but I'm trying to stay non-monetized,
Little
whatever.
PP.
And you know, in the back, I hear this tiny voice. Are you okay, Daddy? I said, you didn't do anything wrong. I'm not angry at you, Camille. I'm just terrified. She said, me too. And that's when I was like, this car's gone.
Mm,
This car's gone. Once we're back, I'm recycling it.
that makes sense.
Hey, up north, the 60s here. Everyone's all right. Slightly crazy, but doing okay. How are you? Your videos look way different now that there isn't a whole lot of snow on the ground, by the way. I love how, like...
It's been a long time. I forgot about that channel, honestly.
You kidding? Man.
Sorry.
Ah, I love that
so
channel.
many channels I try to keep up on. My channel subscriptions list.
Well, here's the thing. There are so many channels. Like, there are channels that I used to watch religiously that I just don't anymore. Like Bushcraft Bartons, I used to watch all the time, but I'm trying to keep up with so many channels now.
I honestly got pretty burnt out on the whole bushcraft thing, so I don't really watch a lot of it anymore. It's just a lot of the same stuff over and over. I got tired of watching it. So I watch stuff that doesn't even really have to do with my genre. I watch a lot of like farming videos and like Demolition Ranch, Off the Ranch. I watch that stuff.
I watch a lot of homesteading stuff, like Mallory's channel. I watch a lot. I spent some time watching the Tuesday and the end of the week video just to see how different the videos were in English and French, but I've sort of gone down to just watching the English ones now.
I watch all those. French ones are fun because I have no idea what's going on.
None. But it's pretty similar. If Mallory is still on here, if you're still here, then I love what you do. It's crazy how... well, I've already said that I don't have the guts to do English and French videos. I don't. But people like Mallory and Waldhandwerk, who does it the same thing, but in German and English. Because it's twice the... It's not quite twice the work, but it's a lot more work every week than just putting out,
So when you leave the house, is it mostly French, like when you leave the house? Or like even when you're home, do you speak French at home? Or how does that work?
We speak mostly... Well, no. I was about to use her name. The missus and I used to speak what I lovingly refer to as the Montreal throat disease. That's, if you're speaking to each other, tu commences dans une langue, puis après, about 2/3 of the way through, maybe half, you switch into the other language.
That's like what the Amish do here.
Oh, do they?
All the time, yeah, except not French. It's like some sort of German. I don't know what they speak.
Like Pennsylvania Dutch or something.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and in the next province over, eastwards, in New Brunswick, there's an actual, like, pidgin or Creole that's called shack, which is very much that. But here it's just sort of the franglais, as Mallory just said. But ever since Camille came into the world, we try very hard to stick to one language each, because apparently it helps when the children are developing to sort of compartmentalize instead of mix everything together. So at home, I try very hard to only speak English, and the madame tries very hard to only speak French because she's straight up Franco, and my family got anglicized in my parents' generation. in the name of opportunities and stuff. It's a very old-fashioned philosophy, but so I don't, so we still kind of speak both when the kids aren't around, but when the kids are here, I speak English and she speaks French.
Now, what about like business wise, like work and whatnot?
Yeah.
What goes on there?
There are places
But I'm actually really curious because I have no idea.
Well, there are places you can work where you don't need any French, but I've never worked in one of those places. Outside the door, even in this neighborhood, I live in the West End, and when I was growing up, this was way bigger, like before my generation. But even when I was growing up, I'm Generation X. There was a dividing line of Montreal that was like Saint Laurent or Saint Lawrence Street Boulevard, where the French were on that side and the English were on this side, and it's very much not like that anymore. There's a city here that used to be very, very, very Anglophone. It's very posh. It's called Westmount, and even that town is 30% Francophone now. There's a lot of mix. I live in NDG. It's a lot of mix. You don't spend an entire day hearing only one language in Montreal, unless you go really far east or really far west.
So it's pretty much in Montreal, anyways. But like in Quebec in general, like
it's not the same.
Really get through Quebec without knowing any French, like
no. Once you leave Montreal, it's a whole lot harder. There's a part along the North Shore that's very Anglo, but there's almost no one there. Sort of up closer to Labrador. But no, Quebec City, there's a lot of English because they depend so heavy on tourism. Around Saguenay, anyone who works in the tourism industry will know English, but that's about it. Maybe like restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
Because around the Saguenay or Tadoussac, you have a lot of tourists there to watch the whales and to, Oh, okay. Like Mallory says, everything is French there. Many people in my village speak yes, no, toaster only. Right? Or as my mother-in-law says, I speak English by mouton, but I débrouille. That means I speak English in, little tiny chunks, but I get through.
Gotcha. Interesting.
No. But what it means is that because I've lived with her for, I don't know, 15 years now, it doesn't matter what language I speak. I'm always looking for the bloody word.
That would be really frustrating.
Like I'm constantly there are times when I have no idea what the bloody English word is for something, and there are times when I can't start again. I can't remember what the word is in either official language. How messed up is that?
Yeah, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah,
it kind of amazes me that Quebec can actually be like their own thing with all the French, when everything around them, like country-wise, every province is all English. All of business, everything is all English.
Yeah, but I mean, New Brunswick is a bilingual province officially, and when I lived in Manitoba, in the town I lived in, I almost never heard a word of English, but it was a very small town, and it was right next to Winnipeg, which is all English practically. There's also large, Franco-Ontarian community, mostly sort of up north, I think. Hey, Lakes and Hikes, how's it going? You were here last year? Yeah, it's Mallory. I love it. Look at that. Searches for her words. Yeah, Mallory knows what I'm talking about. Absolutely. We have gotten so far from the subject I was talking about at the beginning.
I'm sorry, that's my fault. I was just really curious to learn some stuff. I had no idea. So.
Well, I mean, look, there's a lot of history there, right? I mean, the French used to own a whole lot more of this continent than they, than is reflected in the map right now.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Louisiana.
Night, Nate.
Oh, is Nate out of here? All right. See you next time. Yeah.
Yeah, he's eating the wood tomorrow. So
Yep. Sure is.
Louisiana.
anyway, I was about to.
Big chunk of our country from France.
Yep. Absolutely, Nate. Absolutely.
Yep. For fairly cheap, actually.
Yeah, really cheap. There's people down in like
Very
southern,
much like Alaska.
the Cajun people. They'll kind of speak a little bit of French and English mixed in and stuff. They sound really wild when they do it.
Yeah, they're still
with southern accent and mixed in with all that.
Yep.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of that
I went
comes
once
from.
to well.
I see Simon's got his habitual delay on.
I wonder what
That's interesting.
See, Brother Love is back, but he's got to go. All right, have a good week, Brother Love. See you next week. I'm hoping to have something a little different next week. I'm very excited
Maybe a
about
bit
it.
better.
There's back.
Mallory, do you want to come on? I put a link up there, didn't I?
I'm only going to be on for another 5 minutes or so.
I'm still delayed.
I don't know.
I think you're good now.
Yeah, okay.
Marco. No, he's delayed, but in a different way.
Bang.
You ever hear that joke in the, bunch of kids in the pool? Marco, the unvaccinated kid, polio.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, crap.
It's terrible.
And yet so funny. Hi, Mallory. Hi.
Hey, Mallory.
Catch your breath, Jesse.
Like purple in the face.
Oh, the gift of laughter. Yeah, well. No.
A couple of weeks ago, I was on conference call with, and we were doing. It was like a 6-hour.
Anyway, I'm just gonna mute my YouTube. I forgot.
Mallory.
Anyway, and the running gag when you're doing networking is that we're running ping commands, but not many people knows that the answer to a ping is actually a pong.
Is it really?
Yes.
Sorry.
I work in tech, and I never knew that.
So time to time on the conference call, someone was literally just saying ping, and it was how many people will answer with a pong.
Wow.
How you guys doing?
It's
Hanging in there.
yeah.
Yeah. I saw your rant there, Jesse.
Oh yeah, sorry about
Yeah,
that.
I opened up a can of worms on that one. That was my fault.
That was where I think this entire live stream went off the rails. So, Mallory, when I started this, I was like, we're going to talk about your very favorite food or drink when you're in the woods. And it was going great. And then Ethan opened his big freaking mouth, and I went, "Blah!" And
Aw.
Big deal here, okay? That's all it's my Facebook is. That's it.
I know.
Yeah.
Can't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. I know. I mean, we're gonna hear about it for a while. This is like the second wave that we've been waiting for,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to get out of the wilderness and not worry about any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I need to hit the woods. I need to hit the woods. And I think Ethan needs to hit the woods. He needs to get in that canoe of his. And I think a lot of people just need to get out of their houses. I need to get out of my house.
Man, Jesse, come show me how to build a bushcraft shelter in my place. I got 200 acres, man.
You got 200.
Dang.
Yeah, and we got some beavers. Beavers are coming, and there's this big dam that was taken down, and they are starting to rebuild it. So it's pretty cool. I'm probably gonna have some trout this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
You're about 3.5 hours from Montreal, so shouldn't be a big deal to get through.
Aren't you a little further than that? Is it 3.5?
Yeah, about.
No, actually, it's more like 4 hours because I'm up in the mountains. So, like, I'm 20 minutes away from the highway.
Yeah.
So you have to go up 20 minutes once you get to Montmagny.
Yeah,
So-
but still Montmagny. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, 3.5. That's it.
Like my sister's in Léry, and it takes her like 5 hours, I think.
Wow.
So
Where she is?
in Léry.
In Léry?
Yeah.
I don't even know where that is.
Well, it's
yeah,
Lac Saint-Charles or something like that.
I would just like to, Mallory, point out what Mark just said.
Yeah. Well, when things open up and stuff, I mean, we're looking slowly but surely to start opening up our gate, and having some people over slowly. So, I mean, it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Did you know I have another channel, Jesse?
Yeah, but it's dormant while I'm trying to get this one up, back to,
No, I have another channel.
Do you?
You do?
Yeah, avid indoorsy guy.
Really?
Yeah, and I did. Yeah, really.
That's amazing.
I scooped up that name.
Excuse me while I look something up right the hell now.
Yeah, I just posted my first video on it yesterday, and it's where I'm moving to in the future, my future homestead.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
Did you bought it?
Huh?
Did you bought it?
No, I'm going to. My parents own it. It was my grandparents' farm that they've owned since 1960, and then my grandpa got sick and passed, and then my grandma couldn't handle the farm anymore with all the medical bills left over and stuff. So my parents bought the farm, and my grandma, she declared bankruptcy to wipe out all the debt. But since they bought the farm, she stays there and then rents it from them so she can live in her house. She didn't lose it. And then when she passes, I'm first in line to buy it. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the channel?
Avid indoorsy guy.
Indoorsy.
That's amazing. Yeah, my other channel is just Jesse Corbet, and I used to have it as a place to do like just a straight up vlog, try out camera techniques and stuff. Some of which I brought into Rain Dance, and some of which I just never did, and stuff like that. But I'm trying to get this channel, bigger. So that one's really kind of dormant.
Yeah.
Every now and again, I want to do something on that channel that would not be within the brand of this channel, but I just.
That's why I made that channel too. Yeah.
I just don't have the time.
Whatever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my channel's all over the place. I do a whole bunch of stuff on my channel.
It's good. Don't stick yourself to one genre, especially the outdoor genre is rough. It's a rough market.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I've been doing this channel since
2013.
So, and I'm still under 3,000 subs.
Mm-hmm.
You really gotta hustle your bustle or whatever the hell they say.
Yeah.
To really grow in this niche.
Yeah.
I don't put up near enough videos to grow my channel. With YouTube, they don't promote my stuff.
No, not anymore.
Yeah. So I just got to put out more videos, but I don't have time. I don't have time to do it. So.
It's a lot of work. That's what I'm figuring out. I'm like,
Really?
I didn't think that I was going to be spending I was like, I'm just going to do this part-time, Turns out 30 hours a week later. Yeah. It's a lot of work. And I'm being minimalist too, because I'm not counting. Yeah, I'm not counting a lot of stuff in there. I'm just estimating.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And YouTube will reward you for getting your video up at the same time every week.
At the same time?
Same time, same day, every week.
Oh, so I got the same date, but sometimes my time is off.
My time was definitely off last week.
Yeah, if you got a schedule down,
then
they'll start promoting your stuff.
Yeah.
There's so many hoops you have to jump through now too, to be able to qualify perfectly.
it's not what it was. That's for sure.
Yeah. Sometimes it's meeting the right person too. It's like this French channel promoted my channel on her France site,
Okay.
and I got like 300 subscribers in like a day.
No way. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, wow, like that's amazing.
I have a story like that too, actually, Mallory. I was around 200 subs, and I made a kind of a reaction video to Wrangler Star, which he watched, and then did a reaction video to me, and then I was suddenly at 600 subs.
There
And
you
when you're
go.
at 600 subs, you can start to really grow.
I was at 400 subs, and I did a video with this guy who has a small channel. His name is Joe Robinette.
Yeah.
And, next thing you know, I had like 1,500 subscribers in like 2 hours.
Wow.
It just blew up.
That's how I discovered you.
phone-
I would love to go camping with that guy, just because I like his energy.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
He's fun.
I really like his energy.
He's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun together.
Yeah. He just seems like
Yeah.
such a lovely guy.
Yeah, when you see that person on the screen, you're like, yeah, I'd have a beer with that guy or that
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
That's like my type of person too.
Lakes and Hikes says it takes him 16 hours in total just to edit one video. I think
This depends.
I can hit pretty high too. You know, whenever excuse me, very often when I have one of those parts in my video where like as I say something, the words appear on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's like an hour just for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, whenever I mask out the text, as I, you know, like a piece of text appears and I cross over it and hide the text instead of just leaving it.
Mhm.
Oh God, it takes forever. It takes
What do you
forever.
use
because-
to edit?
You can
I
get
used,
down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, you can. I use Final Cut Pro.
Okay.
It's Mac only, and it's like $300. But when I bought it, I hadn't been demonetized yet.
Hmm.
You know, like because especially the masking, you have to edit frame by frame,
Yep.
right? So you set all your little control points, and then you space, and then you hit the button, go to the next frame, move all your control points. It's like, you know.
Yeah. I don't do any of that. I have Shotcut free software and it's doing perfectly fine for me. I don't do like all that fancy stuff, but I don't need that. So
Nobody does. I do
Yeah.
it because I went to film school as a young kid, and then I
Oh.
made movies. So you know, I do this sort of as a way to scratch that itch, you know.
there you go.
And I do this for outdoorsy stuff because it's a way to scratch two itches with one stone. That made no sense. You can't scratch itches with a stone. But you know what I'm saying? You know?
Works.
So like I like that kind of stuff. But man, it really adds on to the time it takes to shoot a video, to edit a
Yeah.
video.
I wish I could. I wish I had I went to look on YouTube for like tutorials and stuff to see if I could do graphics and stuff with Shotcut, but like I'm so limited. And I just bought Epidemic Sound monthly subscription for my music and stuff. So I'm like, I'm not gonna put extra money. I'm not making money right now. I'm losing money with YouTube. So
Yeah.
So am I.
It's I see it that way. For me.
For me, it when I'm playing, excuse me, when I'm playing gigs, it kind of doesn't matter because the gig money gets funneled into A, music purchases, and B, YouTube stuff.
Mhm.
But I sure as hell ain't gigging right now.
mm,
Don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. Something going on.
I actually just made. Well, I guess I can show you guys. I made this purchase. I built a PC.
oh,
It's a low-end gaming PC. Actually, it's fast as heck. I built everything inside it, and it's super fast for editing. I built it just for editing, and I use Adobe Premiere. And on my old computer, Adobe Premiere, oh my gosh, it would take forever, and sometimes it would. I couldn't even get it to run. It was awful. And now I click on Adobe Premiere, it's like loaded, done.
Oh, man, so I should have done my equipment video, my equipment live stream tonight because I built my computer too. It's a Hackintosh,
Yeah.
but it's all parts. I essentially bought a $3,000 computer for $2,000 by building it myself instead of buying like an iMac or something.
I think mine was around 1,500 to build it total.
Yeah.
I've been playing with that little guy.
The hell's that? Is that like a Raspberry or something? What
Yep.
what is that?
It is
Oh, it is?
the latest Raspberry Pi, the Pi 4.
Hmm.
I literally ordered it 2 weeks before they released the upgraded version.
Whoops.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mallory, I was going to say something. There are
for-
so many free editing softwares
Mhm.
for Windows that like you can do everything I do without spending $300. But the learning curve.
Yeah. I'm not willing to switch because I just don't have time to learn a new software right now.
It's understandable. Yeah.
There's a fabulous one out there. Ethan, I don't do the Adobe thing anymore because I'm not a fan of the subscription model for
It
software
sucks.
purchase.
It really does suck having to pay every month.
Yeah.
But what my plan is, I just signed up my local community college. I want to start taking classes on it and learn like everything about the program, and then maybe start taking the camera out and start filming advertising stuff for companies and put things together like a media. I want to like a small freelance media company. I'd like to start getting into that. So that's what I really want to start doing with it. So that's why I pay.
Okay. And Simone, what do you use that little Raspberry for?
I'm actually doing some IoT, Internet of Things.
Okay.
There's a couple business case that I've stumbled upon and that friends brought to me.
Okay.
And literally, this one will probably be a weather station.
Okay.
This is the very first thing that I need right now, and because I already built home automation, and I need something to tie up, literally for my garden. I need something to monitor the weather and to understand and to regulate the irrigation out of it.
Okay. I'm very IoT averse.
Well, there's two ways to consider IoT right now. There's the full cloud, which everyone is taking.
Yeah.
And the other way is, no, there's no cloud. Let's use this. And let's build everything in. Yeah. You don't need a cloud to make it work. There's so many ways to make it happen while keeping your privacy and not giving your life away in a sense.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. I just want to on the side chat here. Simone gave the address for Avid Indoorsy Guy, the channel. Up North of 60 says that it's all about trying to hit that almighty algorithm. That is true, and that is what, man, I'm struggling with every week, especially right now because my videos aren't like 10 minutes plus anymore, right? 10 minutes is the magic.
Mm-hmm.
Last video, because of the mic problem, and I'm overdubbing, not knowing what I had originally said, so I cut everything down to like 4.5 minutes or something. YouTube is gonna
sorry, it's all my fault.
No, I mean, you're the one who gave me the idea to overdub instead of reshooting. But then Up North of 60 says, man, I shoot, edit, and upload straight from my iPhone. It takes about 1 to 2 hours per video.
It's impressive.
Wow.
How long of a video, though?
Some of them are pretty long. What's your average length?
That's impressive.
60? Yeah. Well, actually, Lakes and Hikes says exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
I filmed my video for my Avid Indoorsy Guy channel on my phone, and that's the first time I've ever done that and had any phone footage in a video, and I think it turned out really clean. This is a really good camera on this phone.
I'm good. I'm glad to hear you guys say that because I usually shoot with a Canon 80D.
Mm-hmm.
Not a disease. It's an 80D. But because I do all these like punch ins now, and that one only shoots,
but that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. And that one only shoots at 1080. I've actually been using this, right? Because these are all 4K cameras. Oh yeah, Mallory's got okay. These are 4K cameras, and that's a 4K camera. So what So now, just using this silly thing, when I do that punch in, I don't lose everything. Like I don't lose the resolution.
Mhm.
I don't know if you can see it. No, probably not. It's a desktop plus.
I
Okay.
film everything on my cell phone, and then I edit. And for like a 17, like my last video I did was 17 minutes. It took me about like 6 hours to render it. To
Wow.
edit and render and everything.
Okay. Yeah.
But faster computer helps with the rendering. It really does.
Yeah,
Rendering is really fast though. I was talking more editing. Rendering takes me about like, I don't know, 15 minutes to upload a 17-minute video, so it's not bad.
That's pretty good.
I have a $300 used gaming computer.
Okay. Wow.
It works.
You still got a pretty good video card to do it in that sense.
Yeah, I got a GeForce. I don't remember by heart.
Yeah, that's fine.
Something.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So up north, okay, 15 minutes on
15
average.
minutes on average. So
That's amazing.
yeah, that's good. That's really good. I mean, the thing is, the magic of channels like yours is that, like, I'm talking Mallory, you and him. Oh, nice.
There you go.
That's my graphics card.
Yeah.
I'd have to look at mine on my specs. I don't remember.
But the magic of channels like yours and Up North of 60s is you guys aren't dicking around with all the text and crap that I am. So you can just get the story going.
Just footage. Boom, boom, boom.
Just footage. Boom, boom, boom. Whereas I'm like, let's try a wipe here instead of just a cut.
Mm-hmm. I gotta be
Nobody cares except me.
All my audio. I have to control all that. Like I'm picky.
I do work hard on my audio. I work very hard on my audio. It's nowhere near where I want it. Here are the two things that I need to improve on: my audio and my color correction. I really don't like my color correction, and it's just I don't have time to really dial it in. I'm just trying to get the damn video out,
I didn't even know that was a thing until I watched that stream with Dennis and Chris Prowse and Ben Stacy and all those people. Like, I didn't know color correction was a thing. I had no idea.
Man, are you kidding? Chris Prowse's color correction is spot on.
Yeah, now that I know what it is, I notice it. And it's good.
Yeah, that's why I want a Canon.
Yeah.
I love the Canon color.
Yeah, they got probably the best color science.
Yeah.
Autofocus on this thing sucks.
Oh, no.
Is that a Nikon?
A Nikon D5600.
Yeah, they don't have the same autofocus as Canon for sure.
Awesome.
Sony's very good though.
Sony's good.
Yeah.
The Panasonics are good as well.
Yeah, the Sony is probably the best right now. Canon was the best up until whatever's the new Sony. I was looking to get the 90D this year because it's essentially the 80D but 4K. But then the world stopped, and because I'm not playing my gigs, I'm out like $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
And as I said, Mallory, that music income is how I pay for my YouTube channel. So that ain't happening this year.
I couldn't deal with a big 90D or an 80D, like one of those big ones. I'm small. Like my arm would like literally like die.
They're not that heavy. But the thing is, these are so good that you don't really need that.
For now,
Even this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the SC 2020.
Actually, I have two of them.
You have two of them?
Yeah. I got this one here.
There's one for French and one for English.
A8. And what's cool about it is it was like I got it 2 years ago, but like the battery dies too fast, so I just use my boyfriend's all the time.
All right.
So I need to get me one because I'm hogging his phone all the time.
Right.
And I'll show you what else I use. Anyway.
She just didn't understand what I've said, so that's fine.
It's all right. But I thought it was funny.
Nice. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Smooth 4. And it's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
For the
I have
price?
I have whatever's the DJI, one of those, whatever it's called. Yeah.
Nice gimbal.
I gimbal. I don't have one.
Well, tell you one thing, Ethan. If you want a gimbal for your DSLR, that's going to cost many ducats.
Oh, yeah.
But
jeez.
the ones for your cell phone they're a lot more affordable.
Yeah.
I think it was like $140 or something like that, Canadian.
I think I was looking at them for my DSLR, and those are like $700.
Yeah, it's
If not
much more if you're doing it for a DSLR. Just because everything is bigger, everything's stronger. It's,
And I have no idea how to use them, so like, I'm not going to spend $700 on something that I might not even enjoy using. I don't know.
well, that's the thing. If you can try someone else's first, that's the way to do it. But the good news is they're dead easy to use. At least there isn't really a massive learning curve. Sometimes what you sorry guys, you may have to change the way you walk with a gimbal in your hand. Like you're not supposed to, you don't walk like this. You sort of try to smooth out the way you walk
Closer
a
to
little bit.
your body.
Yeah.
All right, lakes and hikes. See you later. Everyone say bye.
See ya.
You got to sort of, you got to adjust the way you walk and the way you hold your phone when you're using it. But it's not that big a deal. You get used to it pretty fast.
Nope. Actually, I'm not really careful with mine, and my footage is pretty clean. If you go see my life, I mentioned you in my excavator video, which I see the other day.
Oh, nice. Maybe that's why I've been getting. Actually, what are my numbers like? My numbers are slowly going up, which is nice because it feels.
You can still make a manual gimbal if you really need some image stabilization. You don't need a fancy electronic one.
I have a manual one somewhere here for my DSLR, but I have no idea where the hell I put it because I'm me.
You don't use it.
No, I don't. No, I never do. Because I essentially stick a tripod there and talk to the tripod.
Yeah.
I do a lot, yeah.
I'm always on the move, so
yeah,
I have to have one.
Yeah.
Most of my footage is from tripod, really. So
Yeah.
either tripod or this baby clip to the canoe.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
which
I
is
definitely
fine
need
at
to
the
get
end.
a GoPro.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys want to laugh real quick?
Sure.
Why not?
What the hell is Mallory about to do?
I don't know. I thought I saw a dead cat.
What?
Ah,
I just got this.
It is not a dead cat, but
It
looks like it.
saved my life today.
I'm sure of it.
But it's so ugly.
Yeah, but who cares? If you're not being devoured by bugs, then
Good. I have
It
one
is-
of those.
Especially in your neck of the wood.
yeah.
Oh man, I was in the garden getting some weeds out of my garden, prepping it and stuff, and I was just going crazy. I was like, oh no. So I went to Canadian Tire and I got some for the whole family.
That's a good purchase.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I finally bought one of those original bug shirts this year, and I haven't got a chance to use it yet.
Yeah, we're right. When you buy something and then the world ends.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been online shopping big time.
Yeah. Nothing else to do.
Yeah, and saving a lot of money too because I'm not going out. I'm not going out to the restaurants. My kids are here. I'm not paying daycare.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking of not even bringing them to daycare anymore. I only got a year left and then I'm going to have one child for 1 year, and she's a breeze. So, I mean, having both of them, it's a little hectic, but it's not doing too bad. So I think I might as well just keep them.
Wow, I can't wait for my kids to go back to their institutions. I can't. I sit there and I try to work, and I hate life every single day.
Yeah, we're lucky because we're here full time, and like the only problem I have is that I'm not seeding things or getting stuff in the garden at the right time. So I'm like, you know what? Worst case, I'm just gonna go to the grocery store and buy some stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I make it sound worse than it is. No, it actually is that bad. But I mean, there are good things as well. Like having kids around, well, one of them is 1.5 years old, so who cares? But the other one, she's like curious and, want to try stuff. So, like we've planted, like we saved the bottom of the celery one night
Yeah.
and we planted it and it's actually growing.
Cool.
We saved the bottom of lettuce and we planted it and it's growing. So
Cool.
life is so much more interesting that way because it's not the kind of thing that I would ever think to do.
Mm-hmm.
But
I've been doing it for years.
yeah, but I wouldn't. We start everything from seeds in whatever February or whatever. You harden them off later and blah blah.
Yeah, there's.
But I never think we just throw all that stuff in the compost.
Yeah.
So I like what Tenenbaum said. I have scars from black fly bites from 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Grace is asking if that shirt of yours, Mallory, would keep the chiggers off of her.
What is she referring to, chiggers?
How the hell do you describe a chigger?
Chiggers are very, very tiny bugs. They're like kind of like fleas almost.
Des brûlots.
Yeah.
No-see-ums.
Oh. No,
Are they the same as no-see-ums?
They
Brûlot in
burn.
French.
They burn when they bite.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're protecting me from the chiggers.
Okay. Yeah. So it's 11 o'clock. Okay.
It is.
All right, we're done.
Okay.
So you
It's too
will
bad.
be able to go to sleep.
I'm gonna sleep like a baby. I'll wake up every hour crying. So thanks to all you who are. I'm kidding. Totally kidding. Totally. Thanks to all you guys who are hanging out in the side chat. Thanks to you three for coming and hanging out. Everybody stay safe. I'll see you guys all next week. I hope you enjoy what is coming up next week, if all goes well. And I hope everyone stays happy. So see you later.
All right. See ya.
You folks.
All right.
Right.